Hello, everybody. Welcome back. As you know, I've been talking to Carsten Gluth, Managing Director of C3, CARPE Connect Communication, already last week about events and incentives and the current situation and changes we are facing. And today, as we face the situation that last week we didn't have enough time to speak about all the details and these things, we would like to talk a bit more about event formats that are coming up now, or maybe just coming up to be recognized. Everybody is talking about virtual events, hybrid events, and these things. So event formats that are at the moment very popular. And this is the topic we want to talk about this week. And Carsten, what's the situation you think at the moment regarding the event formats? Do you see any changes already, and what do you think about it?
Of course, I see a lot of changes, because we have a current situation where more or less a classic live event is not possible. Last time we talked about incentives. There it's very clear, but also if you have a business event like a sales meeting, it's quite difficult to organize a pure good old live event. So everybody is looking for new solutions, because there is a need to communicate even more at this difficult time than in a healthy, normal situation. So formats like a virtual meeting, streaming meeting, or a hybrid meeting are not only discussed. You could see that here and there are some companies and agencies try to realize these new formats, and there are good solutions to do something. For me, the interesting thing is what will be in the after COVID situation. We will still use these new formats, but right now they offer great possibilities to be active and to be a lively part of the needed event business, both for the clients but also for the agencies. So you have to think about the new formats, and you have to build up a knowledge and skills to realize such type of events.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's what I think everybody in the event and meeting industry is facing at the moment, the situation. On the other hand, as you also said, will it be like this also after COVID, or will it change again? It's a bit like, I do not know what was the situation with your kids in school, but we had this home learning, homeschooling and these things, but still nobody had a laptop from the school or whatever. They had the Zoom meetings and these things. And even for me, I had the feeling that even the generation that should be just like digitalized and used to these things, they were just not really accepting these formats or these kind of schooling and these things. So do you think it's the same, like companies, or especially maybe elderly employees, are not accepting these kind of event formats then? Or is it just like, okay, we have to do something and everybody is more or less happy to see each other again?
Interesting question and good comparison. So for me, I think everybody feel quite cozy in the old times and everything is fine, but now we are forced to do something. Yes. And to be honest, we were talking about this even 1 year ago in the US last year. In my opinion, things are changing, and COVID-19 is just a turbo to show up that we have to change. And this includes, of course, also our industry, the event industry. So technology is not an enemy. It's your friend and you can use it. Right now we have a situation where it makes sense to use it, because maybe you have not the possibility to do something different. Same situation with the schools. 3 months ago. So what we could see, even with the school situation, but also with the clients, is that if you see, okay, I can do something, and it's not too complicated, and you don't need a big IT stuff or whatever to do it, yeah, there's a solution. And if you working inside and sneak inside these new possibilities, you could see, oh, they have a lot of advantages. It takes time, and some of the clients are more open for this. They are more open-minded, and some are, yeah, need some more time to realize it. But I think it's very, very clear for all of us, whether it's for school, for private life, or for the general business, and also for our event business, that times are changing, and they are changing crucially. And hybrid formats or some virtual parts will be will be a clear part of our work stuff in the future. So without any doubt.
I totally agree with this. On the other hand, I think, or I have the feeling or the impression at the moment that the Corona situation just showed the event industry that, in a way, 90% of them were much just like missing the things we should have prepared for already. You know, it's just like no one was talking about digitalization, about meetings and these things. There were some of the experts, but now at the moment it's just like everybody has to leave their comfort zone, has to invest something, or just like to also be too creative and explore new things and these things. And leaving the comfort zone normally means it might be painful, it might be a lot of work, it might be not the easy way. As you said, it's not normal for all of us. On the other hand, I also think that this will be a part of the so-called new normal, that there will be hybrid or virtual meetings. I think it's a bit depending on what we are talking about. I think incentives will be incentives for sure. That's not a question. Business travel will change, I think, because I think companies will now just like realize that you can do a Zoom webinar instead of traveling for 4 hours to a destination, travel a half-hour meeting and then go back. That was normally the case, but now it's not like this. But especially for the events, it's like, I think or I'm very curious how it will become, if it will be really just like 100% virtual or like more hybrid events. What do you think? Is it more just like a mixture or combination of both, or is it just like maybe that some companies or corporates will just go ahead with 100% virtual or these things, or will it still be a mixture?
I think, for example, we did we had the chance, and we are very thankful for that, to create with the client a hybrid event. Mm-hmm. So we did work for this client for a classy sales meeting for many years, year by year, in the EMEA area, and now it was not possible. It was not possible to stay together. It was not possible to travel, and so they say, okay, we have to do something. What can we do? Let's do a virtual event. And then we were thinking, okay, maybe we can integrate some live parts, and we bring the live moments and the virtual moments together. And we could see it's not too complicated. And if you are creative enough, you can say, okay, we have a headquarter, we build up a studio, we have the keynotes from the big bosses from there, but we integrate all the subsidiaries where they create something like an event zone, and they have social distancing there, but they also presented some stuff from the single subsidiaries. So in the end, you can say we have guys in the headquarter, we have guys in the subsidiaries, and we have a mixture of live parts and virtual parts, and together it was a real kind of event. And you can also create a storyline, and you can create emotions. For example, with the lunches, we prepare lunch boxes. So everybody was sitting together in the same countries and eating the same stuff. And you can make some funny things around it, and some streaming parts. Okay, what do you have there in the UK? What do you have there in Spain, or what's up in Germany with these things? You can see, okay, it's a lot of work. So for the agency, it's even more work. But in the end, you save a lot of travel costs. It's better for the environment and stuff like this. So I will not say that they will do in the future, year by year, such a kind of hybrid event, but it is very clear that the results were absolutely fantastic, that the people like it, and you have a big chance to integrate much more people to this conference. So normally you have a certain number of people who are allowed to travel, or to travel costs and so on. But there is enough space for other guys who like to attend to these kind of meetings. So you can record it, some training sessions now. So if you guys can review some of the interesting training sessions, and also the keynotes. So there are a lot of nice advantages, and I think it really makes sense to integrate these advantages into future programs. Even when you have a big live event, you should have some virtual parts, and you have a mixture like for a good hybrid event. And people shouldn't be too afraid about the technology and all that stuff. You can make it very complicated, but on the other side, technology is your friend. You will always find tech solutions for any kind of needs. Be creative, be open-minded, and try to do something new. And I think more and more the clients on the market will ask for that. So we as an agency, and you guys and all the others, we need to find answers, and we at first have to be open-minded to convince our clients to create new things together, and to bring even more advantages to an event, if it's a sales meeting or whatever. But I'm absolutely right, and I agree. Incentive, fly to some nice destination. It's not a virtual thing.
But I think
like a business meeting, which is for us one of our big parts, you will see the integration of new virtual stuff.
Yeah, but I think, as you said, you should not be afraid of the technology and these things. But I think that this is one of the important points, that I think 85% of event agencies that are normally working in the classic way, and these things, they have their normal clients, and cannot just like fulfill at the moment what they are normally doing. They are afraid of the technology, because most of the event agencies, they have not worked in this section, especially in the past. So if you are doing a meeting at the hotel, they have their technical partner, they are doing the technical thing and these things. If you're going to an event location, the DMC sometimes, or the event location itself, they have the technical partner. So most of the event agencies haven't faced to work in this technological business. And I think they are now afraid that, well, I cannot do it, it's not affordable, how can I do it? And these things, I don't have the knowledge and these things, so they are a bit afraid of it. On the other hand, I think, as you said, we should not be afraid, but we should be self-confident, because there are so many partners you can do cooperation with, especially in these things, that you're partnering up and just still fulfill what the people need. And I think the most important point is not to be afraid, because if you're self-confident at the moment, because your clients and corporates mostly are also afraid of what can we do and how should it work and these things, and this is something new, so we have to experience something. So if you are afraid as an event agency, you will not sell any of these events at the moment, right? So
yeah, I agree. I think my experience, so the biggest mistake you can do is that you just have a view, a perspective which is too much technology driven. So a virtual event is an event. So if you're an event agency, design a cool event, create a storyline, and be creative with all your ideas, be a dreamer. So, and then you will find good partners, qualified partners, who will help you to realize these conception, this project. So the same with catering.
Yeah.
Think about a storyline, but you will not standing and cook for all the 200 people, or you are not the bus driver for the shuttle, and so on. And it's the same with the new virtual events. If it's a very easy thing, yes, you can do a Zoom meeting, whatever. That's quite easy. But if it has a higher approach, then you need a good partner. So, and there are partners on the technical side, and not every technical company is such a good partner, so even they have to learn. But there are good partners for all your creative ideas, and then you have to find and invent new ways of doing, for example, a business meeting. So don't be afraid. There are a lot of partners who will help you as an event agency, and together with the client, you will create something new. That's our clear experience with the hybrid event. But throughout the years, we did a lot of stuff like streaming things, like virtual reality, augmented reality. So since we can say since nearly 20 years, we try to implement new technologies in our event programs, and we always found good partners who helps us, and together we create new solutions. So and from time to time you learn more and more and more, and yeah, don't be afraid. So go out, make something, and if you feel safe, comfortable, then you can convince your clients and show up some new ideas and ways how to design a business meeting or a PR event or whatever.
So adapt and learn, and just like in a way paint the same picture but put it in another frame, and then that's it, right? Something like this. But still, do you think we will have the classic personal meetings face to face and these things still in the future? As soon as it will be allowed again, maybe we have the medicines and these things, the situation with Corona and COVID is in. So will the people go back to it? Maybe not 100%, of course, but will the majority of clients then go back to what they are used to? Or is it just like now the time that also the clients or the whole industry will change, like for 90% of these things?
I think they will definitely go back also to the personal face-to-face meeting, because in a live meeting you can have big advantages. So you can, and one of these advantages is that you have an atmosphere and the possibilities to communicate with other attendees nearly all the time. So whether it's at a lunch break, coffee break, it's in the workshop, or is it in a round table discussion, or in the evening at the bar. So, and you can bring in all senses, so you can emotionalize it much better than a virtual event. Of course, you can have chatting with communication groups and so on, but it's not the same to sit together face to face. But we will see that not every live event will be a live event anymore. So the advantages and the saving of costs will create, I think, a new ratio. So the live event becomes more something special. So even for a business meeting. So if we chat here in a Zoom meeting, it absolutely makes sense, and it's a very good way. But let's say after 10 meetings, it will be very nice to sit together to drink a Kölsch, or if you come to Hamburg, to have a nice beer here in Hamburg. And I'm 100% sure that this will strengthen our relation, and that we will have even deeper and better discussions when we are face to face. So it will be an honor and a privilege for clients to personally meet up with their clients, and it will be a sign of respect if you say, okay, we have the whole year virtual meetings or hybrid meetings, but once a year there's a big live event, and we will integrate some virtual parts. I think it will be like this. So instead of 100% live meetings, we will have something like maybe, I don't know, around 50, could be 60, could be 40 live events, and the rest will turn to different kind of virtual formats. So, but live will be king. So it's the top.
Yeah, but that's a good point, and I'm also convinced that the face-to-face meetings and to really meet in reality, it cannot be replaced by virtual meetings or these things. No. Still, I think some parts of the business, or it depends a bit on the approach what you have. For example, if you have a sales meeting and just want to show a product or these things, there was already VR coming up in these things. So you don't need to maybe to send 100 journalists somewhere just to experience a product for an hour and then flying them back to whatever. You can do these things, or some companies already did it, of course, virtual. So this will increase, I think, now, because now it's showing that it's working. On the other hand, as you said, to strengthen the relations between people and these things, to also to build up some trustful relations and these things. You cannot do it just like on a virtual meeting, I think, because the situation that you're talking face to face to see how people are reacting, to have all these, even the biochemical processes within your body, because you're meeting somebody, you're working on another level, I think, than just working on a virtual base. And I think sometimes it's funny because the clients want to do some virtual things, but still, if you have to present it, they are forcing you to come to the office, because they say, but we cannot do it virtual, but we need to do something.
And please print it out.
Yes, print it out, and then that's it. Yeah. So I think I totally agree that face to face will still be the king, as you said. But still, the virtual meetings are now part of the business, and has been increasing, but still there are plenty of ways to just work with it and to be successful.
Yeah, and the live, I was in a discussion round with some international other guys who we're talking about hybrid events, virtual, live, and so on. And one of these guys said something very interesting. He said, what I do miss right now is if I enter a new hotel, and the smell of the lobby of the hotel, the smell of the air, if they have a nice garden restaurant or whatever. So this is something, if you have a meeting in spring in the south of Europe somewhere, and you could feel the soft air and the smell of the flowers and so on. This is something which is very important for your overall feeling. How is it? Is it a good meeting or not? How are the circumstances? How is the environment? So right now it's not possible, but to be honest, what's up in 15 years?
Yeah.
So artificial smelling or whatever, virtual reality. So it's not using a normal eyewear virtual reality. Maybe you have a shaken chair, which is possible. You can smell something, you can feel something. So it's not too complicated to think about that this will be possible. So, but even if you have overall all senses experience with, I don't know, I'm flying to Kenya and I have a safari, it will be, I'm sure, or it is a different kind of experience to be in a safari or at a safari in Africa. It's something different, but I'm sure that technology will give us the possibilities to fly around the world and do everything and to feel and to smell and to use all senses.
Yeah.
So, but life is life. That's something different. So the smell at Christmas, for example, if you have a grandma living in another town, it's nice, but she don't have to attend every family celebration.
Yeah.
But at Christmas, she has to be there. And for the kids, the smell of the grandma and the softness of their skin, this is something they remember their whole life. This is for them a crucial part of Christmas. So there's the smell of the tree and so on. So I think life will be king, but as with the grandma, you don't have to attend or create every time a live event. So then even the live event is something more special.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. But if it's in 50 years, the good thing is we don't have to work with this anymore. It's like then we are the grandma and grandparents who come once a time to join the Christmas party.
We have lookalikes. I'm staying
Okay,
on the tennis court, and my lookalike is doing my job.
Yeah.
So, or we both sit in Miami at the beach.
Yeah. No, but it's true. It's something like what. Also, if I'm going on business travel, of course, we are maybe our business travels in the event industry. It's a bit different sometimes to if we are talking about a manager of Coca-Cola, of Hankook, or whatever, of a big company. Because if we are going somewhere, normally we are meeting either the clients or we are just presenting, pitching, whatever, or we are going to see destinations. We are trying to find reliable partners within the destinations and these things, visit new places. And what I'm missing most at the moment is like, of course, you can talk to partners and clients in a virtual space and these things, but to sit after the meetings, even if it's only a one-day meeting, on the way back home, in the plane, on the train, or whatever, you're going, traveling somewhere, taking first a cold beer, then you're reflecting, you have time for yourself, no one is calling or whatever, you have your time just like to reflect all the meetings and impressions from the day. And this is something that I would say normally is not doing, because if we now if we are finishing our Zoom meeting here, it's not that I'm taking a beer out of the fridge or just I'm not standing here and just like doing anything else but like reflecting what we are saying, but I have to go back to my desk. My colleagues are coming. We have to work on new project and these things. So I think maybe it's some personal thing, but for me it's like the times that after the meetings, the so-called travel time. It's like it's also some kind of me time or quality time, because you can reflect, you can do other things, you can work and these things, and this is still missing around the virtual meetings.
Yeah, I call this emotional distance. You see, we can exchange our ideas, and I can show you up everything, or a supplier in a nice destination can show me everything and what kind of hotels, restaurants, locations, and so on, and I can watch 3 nice movies about the destination. But it's more only the racial parts. So it's not so much emotional, even when it's an emotional video. So, and to work in this business, you need to be an emotional type of guy, because you have to sell dream destinations and so on. So, and if you cut off this you only ranking up to 70% or whatever, but this missing emotional part is like a cut off. And if this is missing, the quality will go down. If you just are virtual, you will not have the same quality. So this emotional distance and the different kind of reasons why guys like you and me and all the others are working in this business, the emotional part is a very, very important part. So if you cut this off, quality will decrease. So we need to find new ways, but maybe not all the time. You see sometimes, I think it's the same, some hotel chains coming to the agency, presenting their new hotels somewhere and so on. So how's the quality of this presentation? Unfortunately, quite often not very high. So, but if there's a good seller, if there's a good salesman, you really like, oh, I want to go there and you can invite me, I come. And this is the quality and very important part of our business. Emotion, that's in the end, that's the main topic of our business, to create emotions, to create an emotional band between brands, products, companies, and their clients. And we are the creator, the designer of these emotional bands. So if you cut off our emotions, how should we create emotional design? So I fully agree, and personally I also love to sit in a plane, eat something and thinking about all the experience I had in the destination, hotel or whatever.
Yeah. Carsten, time's up again already. So
we are sprinters.
yes. It's like, but I think maybe we have another one soon.
Yes.
You never know, And otherwise we will just. Otherwise, if it's possible to meet again, or if I'm in Hamburg or here in Cologne, we will just do a small mobile handy video when we are at the bar and drinking and talking again.
Yeah. This time will come.
Yeah, but still, to sum it up, it's just like we shouldn't be afraid of all the changes, because it's just like not 100% are changing, especially in our work. And as you said, of course, there will be hybrid meetings in coming up and these things. On the other hand, I think maybe also we should see that the possibility of doing these webinars and virtual meetings is also something that we should not talk about social distancing at the moment, but it's just like a physical distancing. We are not socially distanced, because we still can talk to each other wherever we are. Yeah. Also, we are not allowed to travel, and these things. Better times will come, we are sure, but I think that's it
that's a very good thing. We don't have a social, it's just a physical distance. But I think the most important point is you have to be open-minded, and you have to accept that times are changing, so that your new future will look like different to the present and to the past. So and some of the changes maybe you don't like, but that's the way it is. So accept it and see the future and the circumstances as possibilities and good ways to experience a bright new future. But therefore you have to be open-minded, and that's the biggest problem for many companies, people, agencies, and so on.
Perfect. So let's work on this together, make the world a better place, and we will talk soon again, right?
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Tschüssi.
Bye.
Bye.